How you doing? Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVSAUDIO in Roselle, New Jersey. I've been crazy busy at the shop trying to deliver all these bikes and cars, but I had to take time to make this video. Our friends over at Sound Digital sent us over a prototype. It's the 2400.4. So the reason I had to make the video this week is I've just gotten word that these amps will start shipping this week or next week. So anybody that's got them on back order will start receiving them. So I wanted to make a video to show you what kind of power you can expect. I've put the amp through its paces, and it's Sound Digital. They always do rated power. I wanted to see if there was any weird quirks about the amplifier. I'm going to show you what I came up with in my test, but as usual, amplifier did rated power, something this tiny. It's ridiculous the amount of power. Here's a size reference. iPhone on top of the 2400.4. So if you bridge it, you're getting 1200 by 2. This is the 2-ohm version, so we're going to put a 2-ohm load on it to see if we get maximum power out of bridge channel. I'm going to check frequency response, and you'll see how hot it gets pushing it hard. Let's throw this thing on the test bench, show you what we're working with. So we have our O-scope, supply battery, iPad generating test tones, lever clamp, and we're running everything through our term lab. So first, I want to see how much AC voltage the amplifier is putting out. So if you don't have all this fancy test equipment, you want to see how much voltage your amplifier is putting out, set it to test tones, 40 hertz, 80 hertz, 100 hertz, whatever you want. See what the maximum voltage is. Then you take that, multiply times itself, and divide it by the impedance. For us, it's going to be 2 ohms. Most of you guys, it's going to be 4 ohms. That'll let you know how much voltage the amplifier is putting out. And then with that, you can calculate just about the RMS wattage. But doing it this way is way more accurate. But I'm going to do it both ways. I'm going to check the AC voltage and do the calculations to make sure we're getting the 1200 watts per bridge channel. And then we're going to run it through the term lab to get the more accurate measurement of exactly how much wattage. Okay, here's some size comparisons. That's the older 1200.4 Evo. That's the new 2400. 2400 is the same height, but it's considerably shorter and thinner. The old 1200 measured 10 inches by 7. The new 2400 measures 9 inches by 5.5. Both amplifiers are 2¼ inches tall. Speaker level input, adjustable crossover from 45 hertz to 850 hertz, high pass, full range, low pass switch, RCA inputs, gain control. Standard, just like on the S model amplifiers. The speaker layout configuration could be a little bit tricky, but channel 1, negative on the bottom, positive on top. Same with channel 2, same with channel 3, same with channel 4. If you're going to bridge it, it's the 2 bottom connectors, negative, positive, negative, positive. So this amplifier bridged into a 2-ohm load will give us 1200 by 1200. If you have the 2400.4 4-ohm bridged into a 4-ohm load, it'll give you 1200 and 1200. This model has a fan on the bottom. We're going to go ahead and play our 125 hertz test tone.
5 hertz.
51 volts, no clipping. Okay, so if we do 51 times 51 divided by 2, that's 1,305 watts. Our target was 49 volts, which would equal to 1,205 watts. So we're at 1,305 watts. Don't get too excited about that number because the term lapse can be more accurate, and I guarantee you the number comes in a little bit less than that. If this was a 4-ohm model, 70 volts would be the target. So 70 volts times 70 divided by 4 would equal to about 1,225. So we were hoping for 49 volts. We got 51 volts. So we are at 1,305 on a bridge channel of a 2400.4 2-ohm. Now let's switch over to the term lab and see what our real world RMS number is. I guarantee you it'll be between 11 and 1,200. That is the unbridged power per channel, so it's doing 400 watts per channel. Not bridged. See that? Not bridged. It's supposed to be 396, and that's exactly where we're at. Unbridged power per channel. Okay, that's our frequency response running pink noise into the amp and pink noise out of the amp. So it should be a little flatter here, but from 200 hertz and up, it's pretty damn flat. And that's of course with no load. I'm sure if we loaded it down, it would look a little bit different. That's two EvoX 800.4 stacked on top of the 2400.4. As you can see, they're identical. So that means it will definitely fit in the fairing of a 14 and up street glide. I'm gonna test fit on this road glide to make sure it fits under the radio. Might be tight because I know for a fact that we can't fit two 800s without cutting. So I don't think it's gonna fit, but I'll let you guys know in a minute. So in closing, this amp is a beast. It does everything that it promises. Sounds good doing it. We tested on Vinny's bike. We put it on the 4 JL Audio 8.8s, bridged. The JL Audios weren't happy, but it's also more power than is recommended for those speakers. So we were running 600 watts a piece, but it was beating the crap out of them. So amp is super powerful, super small, definitely a game changer. I'm excited, and it's going to be a lot of really loud Harleys this fall, the end of this summer, being that this amplifier starts shipping this week. Great news, if you have a 2014 and up street glide, this amp will fit. I know it fits because we're able to do two EvoX 804s up front above the factory radio. This amp's exactly the same size as two EvoX 804s, and we tried it earlier. It fits comfortably on top, DSP on the side. It's gonna be a game changer for the street glides. No modifications, perfect fit. Okay, so I put the amp through its paces today. We really beat the hell out of it. I've been testing it all day, and then we had a couple of vehicles in here that already had setups, so I pulled the amps out and just installed this one. So we ran 4 8s on the front 2 channels, stereo. Then we ran the rear 2 channels bridged into a 2-ohm load, and we were hitting it hard. We ran 2 lithium batteries to make sure, because this amplifier draws an excess of 300 amps of current at full tilt. So we ran 2 lithium batteries to make sure we gave it enough current and it didn't hiccup. And boy, this thing is loud. I don't recommend running a load that heavy and that hard, but the amp will do it if you want it to. We tested it in this 2020 Road Glide It's not going in there unless you do some cutting or unless you use the Lex Rivera amp rack. You're not going to comfortably fit the 2400.4 under the radio and behind the headlight. The 1204 fits no problem. 804 fits no problem. The amp is exactly the same size as two EvoX 800.4s. So one fits no problem. The 1200, it's a tight squeeze, but it fits. But the 2400, unless you get the Lex Rivera amp rack or unless you cut the heck, you have to grind out the opening just below the radio and slide it all the way up and then grind the top of the headlight a little bit is the only way you're getting it to fit. And it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, not one that I'm comfortable with. But great product. I believe it's currently the most powerful 4-channel amp on the market this size. 2 thumbs up. We're going to do really, really well with this amplifier. And I know it's definitely going to change the game in Harley competition audio. So hope this review helps somebody. If you have any questions, hit me up, messenger, email me, call. Going home. It's been a long day. Good night.